here, men have to be empowered, right? So this is where we talk about issues, we talk about biblical truths, okay, that we are not told in church, all right? And those are some of the things that we have here in this channel. It's called the Light Up Show, where Christ lights up the dark world. We shine the light of Christ in every single situation in our lives. Sawa. Now, I would like you to go to the subscription button and subscribe to my channel, okay, for you to get more and more of this, because I've realized a lot of you are watching those interviews or those shows, okay, and you are not subscribing. So let me give you a few seconds as this intro plays, as you subscribe to my channel. Enjoy the conversation. Today we are finishing it off with the initial idea. The initial idea was mentorship, so listen very carefully and ensure that you comment, like this video. And one of the things I want to, because that's your area, is it for the mentee to go for the mentor, or is it vice versa? Because there are sometimes mentee and anaogopa sana to go. But before we get into that, you can just define for us what mentorship is, because perhaps somebody might not know.
Oh, mentorship is not a new idea. It's an idea that has been as old as the world has been. In life, there's somebody who's always ahead of you, and you're always looking up to certain things. And there are three things that make a man successful. There's the God, and then there is men who've succeeded, and then there is principles. So some of these things are so clouded, and for every industry, there's always something unique. So for you to hack and know what makes success, you also need to learn from somebody else. Even in the Bible, there was the Elisha, Elijah. There is the Jonathan, there's the David, there is Christ, and there is John the Baptist, and there's the disciples. So the mentorship program has been here. Even if you look at the first world, the successful companies, we call them 500 Fortune companies. They have an element of mentorship. Even people rise into the leadership based on holding the hand of another person. Yeah, it might not be a new thing, quote unquote, in the world, but it's a new thing, especially in Africa. Yeah, though sometimes in the back, before independence used to happen, but we've developed a very competitive age. So that would be what mentorship is. How do you lift up another man to become better than yourself? That is what defines mentorship.
I love what you said, to become better than yourself.
Yes.
Because men don't want others to be better than themselves.
I don't know if it's all round, but some men, and we can say some men don't want others to be better than them.
I don't know if they're selfish in nature, but that's a
yeah. There's a selfish thing in men that we are born that way. There are people who've reached out as mentees to mentors, and there are people now that have reached out personally because I see a potential in them, but they don't have a platform. So I try reaching out to them. And then, when a mentee reaches out to a mentor and they understand the process, it becomes very easy. Unlike when a mentor reaches out to a mentee and the mentee never understands the process, it can be like you're trying to lord over somebody.
So it's case to case.
Yes, it's on a case to case.
There's no standard around.
Yeah, you can't say that this is it.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is both spiritual and professional wise. Because there are engineers who are looking for engineers.
Yeah, professionally you might be an engineer, but now the level that you've attained will want you to maybe to be in leadership. So you have the hard skills, but you don't have the soft skills of leadership. So you might still need another leader who might not be an engineer to help you to hone your skills around leadership. In the spiritual world, you might be a spiritual leader, a growing young person who looks up to maybe a bishop, a spiritual leader. You can be able to reach out to that guy to help you walk with you that journey. Personally, I'm a product of a team of different numbers of mentors, though, because I need mentors in different areas of my life. So there are people I look up to. Some of it is one-off, some of it is a process based over a period of time, some of it is just even looking for the distance.
young people say that these mentors are inaccessible, they are busy, you have to go an appointment with them.
Truth be told, if you are looking for a serious man, they will be busy. That's why they have attained the levels that they've attained. But now that is now where the training that we offer comes in knowing how to engage your mentor, the human skills. If you're told that I'm not available today, can you schedule another time? Are you having the skill to follow up so that get happen? And then when you have a 2-hour session, a 1-hour session, how do you get the best out of that session? Because people are having their issues that they're facing in life or they're handling in life. So you are as a mentor, as a mentee, you need to find a way to align in that space. In the schedule of your mentee, on your schedule of your mentor, and to how to get the best out of your mentor. Because imagine if, for example, right now I have mentors who come into the country from time to time. I don't have them every day, and we don't communicate online every day. But when they're here, if I book a session with them, maybe at home or at the workspace or over a cup of tea, I'm sure that I drill as much that I can be able to get from them.
So, okay. So this mentorship, does it have a process, or does it have, are there sessions you have to follow? You know, sometimes like when
A curriculum.
yes, something like that. I wanted to say that when you're building a curriculum, there's a 10-week program, there's a 12-week program. So I don't know if mentorship also has that, so that when 10 week ikifika tu hivi
umemaliza.
Yes. So I don't know if that's unamwacha anaendelea kumea.
There is a material that I received recently, known as the 1,000 hours of honing your skills. So if you want to really be good at something, you really need to do around 1,000 hours for you to be very superb. There is a lot of debate around it still, but I can tell you that while it is good to have a curriculum, but even high schools, even schools don't churn out the same people for the same period of time. So you as a person, a mentee, what do you want out of this program? I'm very intentional, going the extra mile. What do you want? There are people who will learn something in 5 years. There are people who learn something in 2 years. There are people who learn something in 2 days, in a few hours. So as a person, you ought to understand yourself as a person and what you want from the program, so that you can be good and have the best approach towards it. So even when people on board our mentorship program, what we do, we try to understand some of the lesson, some of the things that they know that might be right or wrong, that makes them think the way they do. Then we try to align them on some of the best practices. Some will quickly catch up the process, others will take time. So, you know, as a mentor, you also need to be patient. You also need to be patient with your mentee. So, because you're not going to get every brilliant student. And some people come to you because they've seen something in you, and it will take time so that you can be able to make them happen. There's a challenge. There's a challenge. There's the process of adaptation and flexibility. That's a challenge. Now, that is now why we cannot say that confidently that our mentorship program is going to churn out this kind of people in a day. There's a quote that goes that if you want to build people, if you build people, you build in a lifetime. You build in generations. So, quote unquote, some of the things you're doing, we might even see their fruits in 20 years. It might not be a day, it might not be 2 days, or maybe 5 years that people thinking. These are fruits that might come in 20 years because we are dealing with people in the process. Anybody who is patient enough and willing to learn in the program, regardless of whatever information that they have, from where they're coming from, will benefit.
And somebody get involved into mentorship, somebody's watching.
One, you can be a platform. I started as creating up a platform for mentees. I myself was a mentee, so I looked for people of like mind, and we said, what if we come together, build a platform? Then we invite people we look up to as mentors to speak to us, to show us a direction. That has now grown to where there was informing in the schools. Now I go out as a mentor, because you can only give what you have. You can't give what you don't have. Yes. Anybody can start from somewhere. Yeah, when a new idea comes, people don't always always embrace it. There is if you read the compound effect, the book, the compound effect, you realize that there's a place where, as you build energy towards a process, when you want to stay fit, you don't go to the gym 2 days. You go for a period of time, and when you're beginning, it's very painful. Do you know, as it gets painful, at some point it stops getting painful. People give up at the painful process, but they don't know they've already overcome a stage where they were at the beginning. Then there is also now the stage of dropping the ball after you've become successful. It is a process that must continue. Even when you go to the gym, when you're already big and you have the muscles, if you stop, you go back to default settings. So learning is a continuous process. The mentor will always look for a mentee. The mentee will always look for a mentor. There's always a place to go. Always a place to go. So anyone can onboard this process, but they need the requisite skills to labor into the process until they see the fruits.
So brought me to probably the last question. What are these skills? What are some of the things that make a good mentor?
Yes, one, a mentor needs to continue learning. Learning is a continuous process. Then now maybe you can do books, you can meet other mentors, you can even learn from your mentee. That doesn't stop. Learning needs to be daily. And then daily, mark my word, daily. 2 hours in 24 hours. Now you'll be able to attain 1,000 hours quicker. And then you also become an industry leader, because it's a daily learning process. 2, there is now the element of endurance. You will face challenges when you begin. And then there is now the big momentum. You'll face challenges up to a particular point. Then when people start accepting you, you now start seeing the fruits. And the fruits always come very fast. Between the time the tree is planted to the time it starts doing the first fruition, it is some time. When the fruits start coming, we always know after this number of months, there will always be fruits. Yes. So the big momentum, when you hit the momentum, things will be good.
Okay.
Yes.
At this point, I want to do a parting shot and probably just sell yourself.
Thank you so much, my brother Mike, and thank you for the invitation. We run the mentorship program, and we continue inviting men. Though the school program is both gender, girl child and boy child, trying to build the next professions who are going to become great people in the generations that the digital world is preparing us. And 2, as I finish, I am very accessible, and I'm very, very accessible. You can always get me on my Facebook handles any day, anytime, and engage me on the trail of thought. And don't fear, all topics, every topic, I'll be able to engage. And our program will, anyone who was preteen, 12 to 13 years on board, we can be able to onboard them in the process. And we go with somebody until the time now they get into the professional world and beyond. Asante sana.
Thank you, Robert.